These masks, they're kind of beautiful. Chapter 91, titled Rough Reminder, was out yesterday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, April 26th. So if you haven't read it already, please do so before continuing. Now, let's begin. Yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about is definitely these masks for Apostle 7 and for Apostle 4. They're kind of, I'm surprised. I do understand that the number, the Roman numeral for both masks need to be there, even though it kind of ruins the aesthetic a little. But, so let's take a look at 4, right? So 4 has these kind of bull-like horns coming out of their eye sockets, eye holes. And it kind of shows rage, someone that's angry and aggressive. And we see at the end of this chapter just how much anger they dispill onto Kieran, and even the 7th kind of hints that they're not as forgiving, right? Once they get hooked onto some idea, they throw it out. So maybe that's what the mask is kind of indicating. Now, Apostle 7's mask is way more interesting to me because they still have these kind of whisker-like eyelashes coming from the eye sockets, and I feel like that's probably just a common theme for all of the Apostles' mask. But we also have this little red target on their forehead. Since Apostle 7 is in charge of finances, probably a brain and intellect is kind of shown from that little spot, that red spot. But since they're also the weapons operation and they're the ones hosting the revolution or rebellion or whatever, they do have a target on their head from the leader. So this could be an indication of that. So both masks, really nice. I'm excited to see what the other Apostles' mask kind of look like. What's interesting is this was the base model for what the police officer mask used to be. I remember seeing an old picture from Discover. I never read during the Discover days, but the police officer masks were a full mask, but they are now just, as we know, just half, just covering the top half of the face. So the Apostles holding on to that old design kind of makes sense because they want to further further decrease their presence and someone that can identify their hair. Someone that can identify him, although, Apostle 7 looks like a pretty identifiable person with the way that they dress and their hair, but it's whatever. It's pretty nice. We see, I guess, the leader. Not much of the leader, but we do see the leader. We know for a fact now, even though it was hinted at with Bella, we know for a fact that the leader does know about the Sevens. It seems they have some kind of, I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe they're just letting it happen. Or we'll actually get some kind of third party from the leader to actually intervene with Loon. Or the leader does know that the Purple Hyacinth is Loon and is just letting it run amok because it's messing up with Apostle 7's plans. And then there's this interesting line that the Apostle 4 says, the traitors are falling like flies within their own ranks. Obviously, the 4 doesn't know, but I'm assuming, I want to feel that the leader does actually know what Kieran is up to. And I'm sure the gold chains on the leader's cloak, I'm sure it has some kind of meaning. I don't really know. I can't think of something off the top of my head of what it means. And then the bulk of the chapter is the Apostle 7 and Belladonna's conversation, which is interesting. It definitely hints a lot that Apostle 7 is Redcliffe. I've been calling him Radcliffe for so long. I have no idea why that got picked up, but Redcliffe, right? Because we know that she's starting to do shows more, so she's seeing Apostle 7. He talks about Darcy and how he had to push her away, the sparks, blah, 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 blah. So it goes to show. It could mean that, what if Athena is just Redcliffe's daughter? He got the same flowing hair. When I was first reading this chapter, I wanted to be Athena so bad. Every time they were cutting the camera away and spinning and showing the mask and the hair, I was just like, maybe it's Athena. It clearly looks like a male, but you never know. It could be, but it's probably not. Especially the way that Bella is talking to this person, it doesn't seem like someone she would talk to like that with Athena. Although we haven't seen those interactions, so I'm just making a broad assumption here. And it's interesting, right? Because from how Bella talked to Kieran about her loyalties and how she really loves the circus and whatnot, here it shows that Apostle 7 or Redcliffe is also pulling the strings and keeping Bella along. I don't think she wants the life that she has right now, right? And all these quote-unquote meaningless murders. If Lauren was in the room here, I'm sure most of this text would be filled with some red or the other, because One, I'd never thought that it would be meaningless murders, right? There's always a rhyme and rhythm, especially now that we know that these hits were ordered by the fourth, or by the leader, because Bella has to give it to the fourth to turn in for a report. So they are Phantom Scythe hits, they're not contract hits. So I wonder what kind of play they're doing here. And it's also cool that Bella decides to keep Kieran's little thing a secret about the curious police officer. That she got away with, but the thing that she couldn't get away with was the thing that she didn't have control of. Darcy just showing up at her house, right? I'm assuming they always have people watching, so. And it's a kind of shame that the tides turn like this, right? Bella has been asking and asking from the messenger 7, from other messengers saying like, look, the Purple Hyacinth is kind of trash. Let me just do his job. Give me the credit for it. Let me do it. And now that it's finally being offered in some, not direct way, but some random way, with Apostle 7 saying, keep an eye on Purple Hyacinth and make sure he's alive. Interesting way to go. We'll see where the story turns. I do really love the shot of Bella when she hears about the spy master, the Apostle 4, and we have this light where she's peeking in, seeing what probably is going to happen, and that's when we cut into Kieran's little thing where, I mean, his fit is nice. I want to say it's actually a different fit from the like ninja-esque attire that he wore at the Camellia, but it's always red, which is cool. It's a really defining color on Kieran, so it works. And yeah, he gets taught a lesson. I don't know where it will go from here, to be honest. I feel bad for Kieran. We know the reason why he did it, right? He's doing it so to help Lauren for the showcase, and he hasn't really been focusing on trying to subvert the Phantom Scythe's eyes on Loon, but there's only so much that you can do, and Kieran made a promise to Lauren that he would make sure that her coworkers and her work is safe, so this is the consequence of that promise. But yeah, really great chapter overall. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. I am excited for more masks. These masks are nice.